the past 3 mornings in prayer, heavy. I've cried, so I've filled up trash cans with tissue, big towel, it's wet, everything. I'm a crybaby. Because when I'm talking to him, I want something. For I say, come on.
Through the grace given unto me.
Read the book.
To every man.
To every man. That's every woman too. What?
That is among you.
That is among you.
Not to think of himself.
Not to think. This is the part that you really want to think of. This is what I'm saying. In the right mind. Y'all follow what I'm saying? When you're in your right mind. Woo. I was coming to church this evening and the Holy Ghost gave me somebody cut out in front of me. And they did a number, and they were driving slow, and then like they were going to go, then they gave a signal and got over. But the Lord began to show me something. You know why we get upset? Come on. You know why we get upset with people? Because we're not in our right mind. Because if you ask yourself, how many times have I done that? How many times have I been in a position where I didn't know exactly where I was going to turn and all this, and folk was behind me blowing at me and this and that and the other, and you can just wave your hand and say, you know, okay. But see, sometimes to be in your right mind, you've got to be able to put yourself in the other fellow's position, look at it from the angle he's looking at it from, and try to understand his thought pattern as to why he did or said what they said, and that will keep our blood pressure down. See, so often the people are not careful. When you're not in your right mind, when you're in your right mind, you know what that means? The thoughts of the righteous, they are right. When you're in your right mind, that means you're going to handle stuff properly. A woman can get mad at her husband, but then if she's not careful, she'll think as if I'd never done that. A husband can get upset with his wife, and if he's not careful, he won't even remember the times he did that. I'll get half amen. Because see, when you reflect back when you did it and how you wanted the person to receive you, there's an old saying, what goes around is sort of, well. So you got to, when you're in your right mind, you look at things in the proper perspective. When you're in your right mind, when things happen, you analyze it, and you analyze it from the standpoint of being right-minded, not selfish. Let me go and do the radio broadcast. Yep, Lord. Because see, I'm admonishing you not to think of yourself or think of himself. Oh, God. More, notice he said base. He said more highly. Don't make you more than what you really are. Oh, God. Because when people make themselves more than what they really are, that means everybody else is down here. That means when you say it, that's it. When everybody else say it, that's not it. When you think it, that's it. When everybody else think it, it's not it. And sometimes people have to get to the point that understand somebody can have an idea better than yours. And sometimes it takes two ideas coming together to make one good one. Woo! In my 45-year journey, it's been some mysteries. But you know what? We always was able to talk. And that's how we work things out. Woo. There's always some giving and taking. It ain't about I'm the man. Help, Lord. Help me out of life. It's not about, well, if I want to grab scripture, well, Sarah called Abraham Lord. Well, you got to be worthy of being called Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't just call you Lord just because you want to be called Lord. You got to do stuff worthy to be called Lord. Won't to call you Lord, won't even bring any groceries home. Call Lord and the lights is cut off and you're getting water from the neighbor. You want to be Lord. Run a water hose across the alley. You want to be Lord. I ain't get no help right now. You want to be called Lord, but you're rationing orange juice in shot glasses. But you Lord. You drink orange, you just do it quick. God help us. You know, this is what I'm talking about. When you're thinking right, in your right mind, I'm not talking about in your right mind. That's when the Bible says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. And that's going to be a mind, that's going to be who being equal with God, thought it not robbery to be. Woo. But he took upon himself the form of a servant. You got to be willing to take the low seat in your right mind. God, let me help get this out. In your right. Number one, don't get all exalted. If you get exalted, let somebody else put you up there. Don't put yourself up there. Because the way up is down. It may not look like it, but the way you go up, you got to go down first. And do you all know, when you see a ship out there on the ocean, there is as much ship under the water as it is on top of the water. When you see a skyscraper go up in the air, don't you know they got to, if it's going to be 120 stories, it's way, way down in the ground. If not, it becomes top heavy. So what is the scripture trying to tell us? Don't put yourself up too high. This is deliverance night tonight. Because see, this is how people can go forward in God. Some people get stuck on themselves. They get stuck on their looks. Well, praise Jesus. Folk used to come to church, man, they get happy. I'm talking about back in the olden days. I'm talking about Church of God in Christ and all that back when I was coming full gospel. People, they get to shout, and that hat come off, they just take it off. Sometimes they just take the wig off and just lay it down and get their praise on. And then when they get through, they put the hat back on. Or sometimes they just shout out of the hat. Ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Just all over their face. They just getting their praise on. And when it's all over, they ain't trying to go and get themselves fixed all up and miss service. They just rake it back and stick the hat back on there and let the church go on. Folk now, they don't want to mess their hair up. They pay too much. I ain't getting no help right now. You know how much it cost me to get this weave? This $75 the weave work. Man, all these implants and all this stuff I'd had jacked up and added on to it. And then you come to church and you want to get happy, but you want to get happy. Well. Whew. But see, you don't want to get higher. And then see, when you stay down low, then the Lord can exalt you. In your right mind. When you're in your right mind, you see things altogether different. See what Luke said.
Highly than he ought to think. But to think soberly.
But to think, there it is again. And this is when the Lord, and if your Bible ain't too sacred, you ought to just underline that, that word soberly. You know, when you think of sober, you mean a person should have a sound thought, stabilized, consistent. Soberly. When you think of somebody that's not sober, you think of a person that's drunk or intoxicated. When a person that's intoxicated, what do? They do foolish stuff. I ain't talking about none of y'all. Don't nobody raise your hand. But some of us, before we got saved, when we got intoxicated, we said some foolish stuff. I'm going to tell you what the Bible says. You'll behold strange women. One time I had a bad case of the flu or whatever, and Sister Rogers had me junked up pretty good. And I don't know if it was Theraflu or whatever. And I asked her, I said, what happened to that woman that was sitting on the side of the bed? She said, what woman you talking? I said, it was a woman sitting over on the side of the bed. Well, that was that Theraflu, that nighttime stuff. Back in the day when we had to drink, when we took that Robitussin, y'all, well, see, some of us took Robitussin, but we didn't take it for a cold. Right now. Some of you old syrup drinkers, don't say nothing. Keep your hand down. I'm talking about them. You could tell a syrup drinker in a heartbeat. Look at his eyes and all that. Somebody say, I never did that, Pastor. All right. Some of us did. Some of us didn't even have a sneeze and could hit that. Woo! As the world. God help us. Thank God for deliverance. Ain't he good? But notice what he said. Soberly. You want to think soberly. You want to think rational. You want to think right. You want your thoughts under control. See, when you're not sober, James said a double-minded man, he's unstable in. You know what that means? That means you got two minds. You believe in God one moment, and the next moment you're not. You believe in God, you're going to go to the store, then you say, well, I think I'll wait till later. No, I think I'll go. No, I think I'll wait. Double mind. You got two minds. You want to get rid of the dress, and then you want to keep it. You got two minds. Is anybody hear what I'm saying? You know you're in a bad shape when you got two minds. You've been in that store 30 minutes, and you looked at that dress I don't know how many times, and you still haven't bought it. Then buy it and go down the aisle to another store, then change your mind and go back and tell the cashier, I decided I'm going to return this. Oh, I felt that one. Let me get back over behind this here. I felt that one. Jeez. Two minds. Double-minded. Notice what? He's unstable. He's drunk in all of his way. A lot of time, an alcoholic, a drunk person, when you see them, they started, when they stagger, they going forward. Then you look at them and they going to the side and they going back and then they reaching for the doorknob and the doorknob and they going over there and then they just go over. They just fall down in the chair and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, who you thanking? Thank you. They talking crazy. Then they be talking to the people on the side of them. You sit right here. Ain't nobody there but them. Amen. Folk be talking. What you say? No, we ain't going. No, ain't nobody there but him. Then some folk they get to crying and get to calling their mama. Their mama been dead for mama. They drunk then. God help. That's all right. That's all right. But notice what I'm saying. In your right mind. When you're in your right mind, you know what your right mind won't allow you to do? Your right mind won't allow you to accept wrong. It's a bad thing when you saved and you can do something that you used to do before you got saved and it don't condemn you. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm not going to one of my buddies. He's having a bachelor party or something like that, and they're going to be at the club. And I'm saved. And they're sitting there at the table with all them Bud Light bottles and cans there, and they got all arms around each other. And I'm saved. All my Jesus is just shining. The right mind. The right mind tell a brother, let me tell y'all, there's some stuff at the men's store I can't wear. I'm a preacher. And not that I'm a preacher, I'm saved. Hello. All the monkey suits they got, I can't wear that. I'm saved. I ain't getting no help right now. I don't care what the salesman say, man, that's you. That's woo, if you put this on, boy, let me tell you, man, you're gonna tear the house up when you walk in there. I don't want to be to the point that people can't hear me for looking at me. See, in your right mind, you tell yourself, well, it ain't enough fabric in that dress to go around this body. Your wrong mind will tell you, say, I can make it happen. But your right mind tell you, yeah. You better not burp though. And if you drop your phone, you better let somebody else pick it up. You're gonna hear some stuff saying. I'm talking about your right mind. Can anybody hear what I'm saying? You know what your right mind tell you? Your right mind tell you tomorrow is Sunday. So when you go eat, your right mind tell you need to get something ready for dinner tonight for tomorrow. Because if we don't get something out the freezer, you know what that means? After church is out, that means we got to go out and eat. And money's a little tight already. So your right mind tell you, ain't no need going to the grocery store and buying some more steaks and stacking on top of the steaks that you got. Eat the steaks that you got. They get freezer burn. It ain't nothing to pop off about how many steaks you got in the freezer, and then 20 of them, you got 30 and 20 of them freezer burn. You might as well throw them out. I'm just talking about just right mind. My right mind tells me I cannot do nothing without God's blessing. That's what my right mind tells me. My wrong mind tells me, say, you can get by. I'm trying to watch this here. He said, but to think soberly, to think right. Come on.
According as.
Wait a minute. For as much as. Come on. Read. According as.
God had dealt to every man.
In other words, you want to do according as God has dealt to every man what?
The measure of faith.
In other words, what you want to do, you want to operate within the realm of the amount of faith that God has given you. Don't try to operate where you haven't been. Don't try to live where you can't. See, preaching of faith is a dangerous thing, but we got to preach it. And what makes the preaching of faith dangerous, people get the wrong aspect of it, and they just want to go out and grab everything, grab it then. But see, some stuff you want, you're not ready for it. You know what makes a sandwich taste good? When you're hungry. Somebody said, I want mine. I want some lettuce. I want tomatoes. I want purple onions and cheese and all that. Get hungry. You don't even need mayonnaise. Get hungry. You don't even need mustard. Get hungry. My daddy used to call it a sandwich. He said it wasn't a sandwich, it was a sandwich. When you eat a sandwich and you hungry, all you need is some bologna and some bread. Somebody said, well, I don't eat white bread. I got to have wheat. Get hungry. Get hungry. When you take that rind off of that bologna and put it in the skillet and it rise up in the middle, and you got to cut the edges a little bit, make it lay down some. Some of y'all say, oh, Pastor, I don't know what you're talking about. See, years ago when that bologna was good, we used to take that bologna and bite it and get that rind in our teeth, and we could pull it through our teeth and pull the meat off of it. Boy, when we got through with it, wasn't nothing for the dogs or the cats. It's clean. I ain't talking about them. See, y'all city folk. I'm talking about country folk. That's what country folk used to do. We call it round steak. Yes, sir. Go up there and tell Mr. Charlie, I want five slices of bologna and 2 slices of cheese. We just finished cutting the yard. We got about 50 cents, man. We rolling. Get us some crackers, go find us a good shade tree and get a Topicola, a 16-ounce Topicola. Man, you fill up with that cheese and crackers and then wash it down with that Topicola and that flour swell up in your belly. We laying out there in that St. Augustine grass. My mother said we look like dogs out there asleep. Just laying all out there asleep. Some of you city folk, y'all just don't know what y'all miss, boy. Well, we had it made down the country. Folk wouldn't even bother. I'm talking about just a big lady got a big oak tree. My lady got a big oak tree in the front yard, and we out there in that St. Augustine grass, no blanket. We don't have nothing. Sometimes we take our shoes off if we had shoes on and use your shoe for a pillow, and we lay out there in that grass. Ants wouldn't get And we just be out there just sleep. Everybody sleep. They're like a bunch of dogs out there. You got to worry about nobody bothering you. In your right mind. See, this is something you got to remember. In order to serve God, you've got to be. I'm not talking about when the Bible said that the lunatic was clothed and in his right mind. I'm talking about another right mind. I'm talking about a right mind that belongs to the saints of God and our savedness. What you have to do, you have to fight with you to keep your mind right. Because flesh want to take your mind another direction. Ain't getting no help right now. Faith, you know what? God, flesh will tell you, well, you know Jimmy Ray not saved. Why are you giving him that much time? Ain't no man hanging around if he ain't getting nothing. Ain't no man gonna dump his money on you. You ain't that good looking. You ain't that fine. He just gonna dump his money on you. I ain't talking about no 50 cents or $5. I'm talking about big time money. He buying you all kind of angel and this and that and the other, taking you out to dinner, all down at the Reunion Tower. You all up there looking at North Dallas and South Dallas and just spinning. You don't have to pay for nothing. Ain't getting no help right now. You didn't even have to pay for the parking, nothing. And you with your saved self, you know you're supposed to be saved.
Come on, Pastor. Put it out there. Come on.
He walking you out of the restaurant with his hand in your back. Get to his BMW. Black man working. You know good and well. You know good and well. He ain't playing. Have you tried Jesus? Ain't no way. What you know about Jesus? Y'all going down that BMW and you singing, all right. Be over there with and the devil behind the steering wheel. Devil say he sure is all right. Ain't getting no help right now. Ain't getting no help right now. See, when you're in your right mind, you don't play. You don't play with fire. Sister girl, let me tell you something. In your right mind, you don't let a man get too close to you. In your right mind, you don't let it say too many words to you. Because if he gets you in a vulnerable state, one of them words may reach home plate. And you bat your eyes too long. Your cheekbone raised up the wrong way. And now he think he got an invitation. I ought to get a half on this side of the chair. You better be listening to what I'm saying. But I hate to have to come up to this school. This is what we have to look at. In your right mind. In your right mind, you keep stuff like it's supposed to be. In your right mind, you don't allow weakness to come in. In your right mind, you don't drop your defense shield. In your right mind, you always stay on point. In your right mind, you always analyze and trying to figure out why. If I do this, what is the result of? In your right mind. In your right mind. There's an old saying when you dance to the music. You're going to pay the piper. The piper's coming with his hands out. He want to collect. So told about the old boy went to jail. He just went in there. He was fresh, new. There's a whole lot of junk going in the jailhouse. And the old boy said, store truck, he missed the store truck. And the old guy that was in there, old inmate, he said, "What, you wanted one of them candy bars?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, I'll give you one of mine." "Oh, next time the truck comes, I'll pay you back." Then when it come time to pay him back, homeboy would tell me, "No, I don't want the one off the store truck. I want the one you ate. Some of y'all going to do some math to figure that out later. Folk don't know when you get in the junk is frightening. A young man was a backslider, and he worked for me. He got in trouble. He got in jail. Back then, he had a big afro, and he was sitting down there, I guess Luke Sterrick or whatever it was, down in the Dallas jail, and didn't know it. They had a spokesman of the tank, and the spokesman of the tank was a Hispanic guy, and he was sitting there getting ready to eat, and all of a sudden, somebody came up behind him and caught him by his hair and slammed his face in the plate. I'm just trying to show her when we pay for the stuff that we do. Nobody think, well, Pastor trying to get vulgar. No, I'm trying to give y'all some understanding in the real world. Maybe it'll help you think right. Old boy he got ready to go to bed that night. One of them came up to him and told him, say, when you get ready to go to bed tonight, say, put your drawers on backwards. I'm going to pay you a visit. This ain't no game. This is the real world. He said he was so scared, he slept on his back all night looking at the ceiling. He said the next morning, when it came time to bail him out, woo, you talking about he almost felt like he wanted to sprout wings to get out of there. But he learned a lesson. But see what he did, and I kept telling him about, you need to quit doing the stuff that you're doing. Because you're working for me, and you're supposed to be saved. And I kept warning him, don't do it. Man, you need to tighten up. You know what? He ended up getting in trouble. People, listen to what I'm saying. Can anybody hear me tonight? You got to understand something. When you don't think right, you think wrong. And when you think wrong, it's going to get you in trouble. Let me just throw this a little bit in there. 1 Peter 5:8. Let me just throw this in there.
Be sober.
There he is again. He just say, be sober, be what?
Be vigilant.
Be watchful. Why?
Because your adversary.
Because, notice what he's going to tell you, the very thing you need to look out for. But don't be looking for a demon or something in a red suit with horns and a pitchfork. Your adversary, the devil, he can tell you who he is. Don't try to make it something else. You got an enemy, and your enemy is the devil. But you got to understand something. The spirit of the devil operates through people. Sometimes the devil puts somebody in your life, you think that's your best friend. That's the person that set you up, mess you up, and leave you out to dry. I say to young ladies here, I'm 65. I've seen a lot of stuff. I was at the barbershop the other day getting a haircut, and they had this judge on TV. This black girl was in there. That was on trial with her boyfriend, her fiance, whatever. She was 30 years of age. This was her second marriage at 30. Yeah. 30. You're on the second one. Jesus. I got a classmate. We went to a class reunion. And back then, we were probably somewhere, good 60. He had been married 5 times. And he told me, he said, well, it wasn't them. It was me. I just hadn't got my run out. That's the kind of person, you can't date my sister. You can't date my cousin. Nobody. You can't even date my neighbor. You're a dog. You're a dog. I don't even want to see you with nobody I know personally. Really, I don't want to see you with nobody. But I mean, nobody I have any contact with. 5 times. And he would say, I just hadn't got my run out. Listen to what he said, people. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, what is he doing?
As a roaring lion.
Not is, but as a pretender, as a roaring lion. What does he do?
Walketh
Notice
about.
that walketh has a TH on the end of it. He didn't walk just for one time and stop. You know what that means? In every one of our lives, he's still walking. I don't care how saved you think you are. He's still walking. Trying to find a spot where you're not thinking right. You know, when an incident when a volatile situation come up, if a person is not careful, if they think wrong, you're going to escalate stuff. But when you think right, the best way to handle a thing, you don't ever meet a wave head on. If you meet a wave head on, it's going to knock you down. I'm talking about a wave in the sea. When you see a wave coming, you know what you do? Turn sideways and split it. Because if you meet it head on, it's going to knock you down. So what are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying to you, when you're dealing with a situation, always be versatile enough where you can maneuver. Have anybody ever seen the bullfight, the matador? When a bull is coming at him, he may be standing there with that flag and doing all that, but when the bull come at him, you know, he's standing there like this. Come on, bull, come on. You got it right. No. You're going to be up in the stand somewhere riding the bull's back. But he's going to stand there, and when the bull come at him, you know what he does? He just let it on by. This is the way you got to be able to handle situations in your life. When that young man come talking all that junk, and then when he come back this morning, you're working with him. When you get ready to kill him, you don't know you got that sword behind him. So when you come back next time, when he go by you, you hit him back. And after a while, he's sitting over there on his knees. But you got to be smooth. You know, you ever get a chance to watch the matador? They're not out there just like, no, they smooth. They just. That's why you got to do them tight heads when they come to talking a bunch of junk. Yeah. No, tight heads are boys. I ain't getting no help right now. I understand what I'm talking. Tight heads are boys. That's what I call tight heads. So when you got a bunch of, and see, sometimes they try to set you up. They want to put you where the other buddies are, so they can make it look like they got control over you. And they don't want to just try to use words. They want to like put their hands on you, like they pushing you and governing you and telling you, "Come on, girl, you don't you disrespect me." Well, disrespect you ain't even buying my lunch. You gonna disrespect you? What? You can't even buy a flea of racing jack. I'm gonna disrespect you. You don't want my dad to come up here. It's trouble. But my point is, you got to think right. Because if that red truck was boiling up in the front, time BJ acting crazy over there. What's that? BJ Smith, whatever it is. He got acting crazy. They called me, and I asked him, "Can I space?" And he and we went outside. Boy, I told him, boy, I was skinny. I told him, you just don't know, I will pull the hide off of you. I said, we will never have this conversation again. And when I got through with him, and we went back in the inside, I told the counsel who was behind the desk, I really appreciate you all. They told me, they said, ooh, when I left, somehow the word got back to Sherelle. No, you don't need your daddy coming up here. It's trouble. That's just right. Thinking right. You know, if I can say to what really gets a man is when he think he got a rap and he can't get to you. I ain't saying that to nobody. I'm talking about what? See, I was saved. Now, I wasn't saved at this time. A young lady was saved. And we had just come from our auto mechanics class, and she was going down the hallway, and I think she was a junior, and I was a senior. Yeah. And I jumped up beside her, and I'm talking to her. They call her Snooky. And so I was walking down beside talking, and when she got down to the house, she had to the stairs to go to the second floor. And I'm just talking, and she was just smiling. She just kept walking. Never stopped. Didn't say nothing, just kept walking. And then when I got down to the end of the stairs, my brother was standing down there. I said, now I got to go back down to where they are. And when I got back down, you know what one of them told me? I said, man, that girl's saved. See, I'm raised in holiness. I'm raised in holiness. Boy, she made me. She didn't say nothing. Whew. I said, man, she's saved. I said, oh, God. She didn't say nothing. She just smiled and just kept walking. You could have bought me for a dime and got some change back. Y'all understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. When you're thinking right, when you think right, and that's not you, you don't want to ever wear or do anything to make somebody think that you are something else. I ain't getting no help right now. Ooh, Jesus. Some folks are blessed in other places. Well, some are not. But if your blessing has come that way, you be real careful with your blessing. No help right now. Folk don't want to say nothing. That's all right. I'm gonna be on the radio. I get so mad sometimes at CNN. And what's her name? Barrett, Bennett, whatever her name is. And every time she come on, she got long hair. Every time she come on, all of this is just out. See, and then you got to see folk, there's buttons on the blouses, but they only button up so far. I ain't trying to be messy, but why you stop the button here and there's some more buttons right here? You stop the button there because you want that to lay open. And if some little boy walk up to you and say, can I touch that right there? Woo! Bam! No. You wasn't thinking right. When you go to a garage sale, everything that's outside the rope is for sale. If it's behind the rope, it's not for sale. But if it ain't for sale, what do? You leave it behind the rope. Because you can't get mad at a person if they say, well, I told you I was going to keep my coat on. Oh, God, I kept my coat on. Thank you, Jesus. Let's finish that for me, sister. Come on, read.
Walketh about. Seeking
whom? Seeking who? Whom? He what?
Made a vow.
God. He don't want to just, he want to devour you. The thief and not for, but to steal, kill, and destroy. He want to steal, kill, and destroy. He want to steal. After he steal your stuff, then he want to kill you. And then after he kill you, he want to destroy. That means he want to take away every evidence. He want to take all the juice away. He's not satisfied with you just being dead. He wants your body dismembered. He wants your reputation destroyed. That at your funeral, that you look down, you went down in history as a nothing, as a disaster. Nobody want to say anything. No praise about nothing. See, he want to steal from you. Then he want to kill you, but then he want to destroy all your reputation and everything. But Jesus said, but I am come that they might have life. And I want to throw this last scripture in, and I'm getting ready. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all thought I was going to be late. Watch this. This last scripture, I'm getting ready to tie it up. Isaiah 26:3. Isaiah 26:3. Now, people talking about anxiety, talking about this and that and the other. Listen, when you say, let's see what the scripture is going to say. Come on and read it for me.
Thou wilt.
Come on.
Keep him in perfect peace.
Keep him in what kind of peace?
Perfect.
What kind of peace?
Perfect.
That sounds like Donald Trump, don't it? It was a perfect conversation. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace,
whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee.
Wow. He said he'll keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on him. Saints, don't go crazy. I'm not saying you don't age, get a little whatever. But even when Moses died, he was still in his right mind. God, let me tell you something, baby. You can be saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled. You don't have to have dementia. You don't have to be Alzheimer's and all that. It ain't nowhere in the scripture said you got to be that. Can anybody hear what I'm saying? You got to keep your mind in perfect peace. How you going to do it? You got to keep your mind stayed. I'm not talking about, when we say stayed, I'm not talking about just Jesus all day, Jesus. No, you don't allow your mind. And I'm getting ready to wrap this up. But listen, people. When you know something don't work with your old character, please don't allow yourself to get entangled. You know where you came from. You know what the Lord delivered you from. Whatever that was, you want to stay as far away from that as possible. You want to keep that so far under the blood, so much covered. It's just like that wall right there. He said with a door. It used to be, I keep telling y'all, it used to be a door right over there behind where that speaker is. You can't tell it. And this is the way you want to do your old you. Can anybody hear what I'm saying? They got that non-alcoholic juice, Welch's Group. I sometimes I have to fight to drink it. Don't nobody say, well, pastor say you can't even drink that. No, listen, stay in your right mind. Stay in your right mind. But sometimes it brings back too many memories. Well, sometimes it tastes like Valley High. Some of y'all was like, pastor, I ain't never heard about. That's some of them sipped a little Valley High. Some of us know what a boom on. Why y'all? Why folks want to act like pastor? I ain't never done. You know what a cold duck was? Some of that stuff tastes just like cold duck. Well, pastor, my mama kept us in the house, and we didn't. Yeah, all right. Everybody didn't stay in the house. Some of us got out. Ooh, Jesus. You get to drinking that stuff, and you get, man, it tastes like Valley High. It tastes like form. And get to messing with your mind. When stuff starts messing with my mind, you know what I'll do? I'll pour it out. I don't care what I pay. I pour it out. Well, you pay $2.99. I'm pouring it out. I don't want the devil. I ain't saying nothing. And you know, I ain't got nothing against glasses like this. But see, you got to be careful. When you got a glass like this, before you got delivered, you know how your hand went under. Why y'all want to act like it? Oh, Pastor, I always held my glass like this. Well, there was some of us, we knew how to hold it like this. And we didn't waste it either. And some folk will get out there and boogie and be dancing, and it's dancing in the glass, and they don't waste none of it.